don't want. See, just one what you are there. Which one? Okay. Okay.
Without doing anything. He is just a presence of being. To be with the Master is to be with the presence. To be with the Master is to be here now. And to be here now in this moment is meditation. And so when you are with your Master, when you are remembering Him every minute of your life, every breath of your life, then where is the need to take any special efforts to meditate? Meditation happens on its own. Everything starts happening on its own. The Ishta Devata is also found in His presence. Then all the gods and goddesses are also found in His presence. Once it happened, Sai Baba was alone in Shirdi and a very close devotee remained with him. Sai Baba said, "Why you stayed behind when the whole village has gone to seek the blessing of Lord Shiva?" The devotee's eyes were filled with tears. Looking at Sai Baba, he said, "Baba, my Shiva is you. I could see him in your presence. I could feel him in your presence. Then what is the need to go anywhere else?" Lovingly he nodded his head, and a certain fragrance emerged through his presence. The devotee said, "These are the same incense sticks that I had given to the villagers to instill at the Lord Shiva's temple. Incense sticks were incensed and burned 1,000 miles away from Shirdi, and yet its fragrance was coming through the omnipresence of Sai Baba." How to express such a beautiful incident? Language is really poor. Words cannot suffice. One has to go through all kinds of experiences that life provides with. It is through experiences that you evolve. So never be afraid of any experiences. Remember, man learns through experience, and the spiritual path is full of different kinds of experiences. He will encounter many difficulties and obstacles, and they are the very experiences he needs to encourage and complete the cleansing process, says Sai Baba. The greater the cleansing process, the greater is the growth within. Family changes from birth to birth because as the state of level of your consciousness changes, so does your birth destination. When you spend your life with more ignorance and less consciousness, your next birth is of inferior level. When you spend your life with more consciousness and less ignorance, your next birth is of a superior level. And so based on the state of your birth to birth, because as the state of level of your consciousness changes, so does your birth destination. When you spend your life with more ignorance and birth to birth, because as the state of level of your consciousness changes, so does your any difficulties and obstacles, and they are the very experiences he needs to encourage and complete the cleansing process, says Sai Baba. The greater the cleansing process, the greater is the growth within. Family changes from birth to birth. Because as the state of level of your consciousness changes, so does your birth destination. When you spend your life with more ignorance and less consciousness, your next birth is of inferior level. When you spend your life with more consciousness and less ignorance, your next birth is of a superior level. And so based on the state of your level of consciousness, your father, your mother, your wife, your husband, your friend, your overall quality of life keeps changing from birth to birth. But what remains the same is your Ishta Devata, your Guru, your Lord. In simple words, if you fail, that is, if you remain ignorant, you will remain in the same standard. If you pass, that is, if you follow the level of your consciousness, if you raise the level of your consciousness, you move to the next standard. This cycle continues. Many have fallen and many have graduated. And those who have graduated have become the greatest saints that the world had ever known. But people are shallow. They think those men or women who became saints or yogis, they all must be extraordinary. Shallow people categorize the evolved beings in a separate category. This is what we have done with Buddha, with Mahavira, with Patanjali, with Kabir. We have put them in a separate category. They are special people. We are ordinary people. But they were also ordinary before they took the jump. It is the